And welcome to the Kohl Center here on the campus of the University of Wisconsin. It's Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers, and it sure feels like the holidays right here. Everybody's in a great mood, anticipating an outstanding matchup here today. Unbeaten number 2 Pittsburgh, number 7 Wisconsin. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale with you. This is a big-time non-conference game. Have even attempted. That foul was on Levance Fields, who's inherited the real quarterback job, the starting point guard with Carl Krauser, finishing up last year. There's Orlando Tucker, averaging better than 20 per game.
He sets screens. He passes the ball exceptionally well.
Butch right over his defender with a left hand.
You want to be known as Mr. March.
How about Pittsburgh ranked second? Who's ahead of them? UCLA. The coach there, of course, the former Pittsburgh coach and Jamie Dixon's best friend. Orlando Tucker knocks down a 3. It's noisy here. Wisconsin's off to a great start. Graves has that shot altered and never got to the rim, and back come the Badgers again.
Pittsburgh got to lock it up. This club is fired up.
Tucker fouled on his way to the hoop. At the line, a 66% free throw shooter, a guy who missed a year, a medical redshirt 3 years ago with a foot injury after the season. This is a guy who's been through a lot to get where he is.
Well, he had to breathe through his mouth last year. Was not comfortable. He said this year he feels very comfortable.
Kendall, nice pass underneath, and finally Pittsburgh scores. Graves the bucket. Kendall is from Canada, scored 40 against Team USA the summer before last. Now Cameron Taylor misses the 3. Brian Butch is fouled as he got a hand on the offensive rebound. Consistent guy for Wisconsin, 9-10 points, 5-6 rebounds per game, and that foul, Dick, was the second on Levance Fields. He's going to have to come out, but they don't lose a lot because this guy, Ronald Ramon, can handle the ball, and he might be their best shooter.
He protects the ball. He has an assist-to-turnover ratio of better than 3.5.
A sophomore out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and a tough-as-nails, ferocious rebounder who gets under the skin of his opponents.
Yeah, he's a very physical, aggressive player.
Graves with a strong drive to the baseline and count it.
See, they play that man-to-man, but it has, like, really zone tendencies. They do a lot of switching, communicate really well.
Kendall with the open jumper.
He's got to be more assertive.
Steam's mother turnaround over Gray. Doesn't go, and another rebound for the big guy, who his first 2 years, Gray, Dick, played behind Chris Taft, weighed about 40 pounds more than he does right now. But his last 2 years have been sensational as Ramon bangs down a 3. Wisconsin has
coaches.
Former players, terrific players, and even better coaches. Wisconsin hasn't had a field goal in about 3.5 minutes. Chappell from the baseline changes that.
That's how his dad used to shoot it. You know, Rob Schultz wrote about it in the paper yesterday here. 100 less times than their opponents.
Ramon, the pull-up from the elbow. He is smooth.
He's very smooth. Doesn't have great quickness, but he's got terrific touch. But Pittsburgh's a very deep team, and they're not going to make alibis or excuses on the condition of Gray.
Biggs, tough shot. His momentum was fading away from the basket, but he knocks it down, and the Panthers, with Gray supporting him from the bench, have their first lead of the game.
Well, when you bring guys like certainly Biggs and Young off the bench, they're really like starters. In fact, Jamie says we got 9 starters.
Tucker, this is the 15-footer. Chappell over Kendall for the rebound. Tucker again.
Terrific move without the ball. Tucker.
Another senior.
He's only got 4 fouls called on him. Played about 30 minutes a game.
Yep. Good outside shooter. Nice
pass.
feed into Chappell.
Always in the right place. Do you notice the guy occupying the low box? So many teams understand about winning, but they just don't do the little thing.
Boy, Ramon is hot early. A 3 to tie the game, and he's got 8 points already.
A lot of patience on offense. It's all about patience, poise. They're so poised. They played in a tough environment against Marquette. They're able to survive that. You think about this program and the one that Tom Crean has developed, and it's a great rivalry. Got Marquette, Wisconsin. That's why I said Washington should play God's side.
Right.
They should never end that rivalry.
The state schools play each other. There's Tucker climbing that list. Butch for 3. Kept alive by Chappell, and a fresh 35 for the Badgers. Trayvon Hughes with an ill-advised shot, the freshman out of Queens, New York. Now Cook is fouled by Chappell, and a bad shot at one end set up a transition opportunity at the other. Right after this game here today, but it's not going to be easy for the Red Raiders down in Fayetteville.
Oh, that'll be a tough game. You talk about Mr. Knight, and that song epitomizes Robert Montgomery Knight.
He does it his way, that's for sure. After this game,
play high percentage offense, take good shots, let the right people shoot the ball.
They actually had trouble
Tough
with that,
pass.
and there, of course, is their first turnover. They had trouble. They turned it over 22 times against Marquette, yet won the game. Baseline jumper goes down for Mike Cook.
And they really control tempo and make you play 5 against 5.
Yep. Both of these teams like to grind it out. Tucker from way outside, and he's got 13 already.
In a big game. Here's a big game against the number 2 team in the nation. He comes out fired up.
Kendall, a great pass inside. Gray using the left hand. Kendall comes up with a rebound, rips it away from Brian Butch.
And there's all the little things we talk about that leads to winning.
Antonio Graves takes a bump.
In Sports Illustrated, it was done so well by Mr. Price. What a story about his life.
As Doris mentioned, Tucker wants to give back to his community. He's a communications major on pace to graduate this year as Butch knocks down the jumper. Every point that Wisconsin has in this game.
They're getting the ball very easily to their key people on that baseline.
Gray with a jump hook, his second field goal.
They got to get him involved a little bit more, and the unbelievable dream of wanting to make it.
Butch looking for his offense a little more than usual today. Misses the jumper, but Tucker comes up with a rebound, and he's got 15.
I tell you, Tucker's having one of those major days.
4th year as head coach at Pittsburgh and has had a remarkable run. Tucker's had a remarkable run here today. 17.
They have no answer for Tucker, but they're really deep on that perimeter. They can rotate 4 bodies out there that can all play.
Krauser, I believe, is playing in Germany right now. How about Brian Butch?
Has he elevated his game?
He has stepped up and become a solid, steady contributor for Wisconsin. Not a star, but he gives them solid minutes every game. Dick, he's feeling it today.
He can shoot the 3 down. You got the Grateful Red going wild.
Gray is fouled by Chappell.
That Pittsburgh's had in a while in terms of their non-conference schedule.
Well, they played at Auburn. They won that. They played at Buffalo. And it might not sound like a lot.
Oh, you got to win those games, though.
But a lot of high majors won't go on the road.
I know, but you got to win those games.
I understand.
You're not playing Auburn in football. You play them in basketball.
Now, this is the second and a home with Wisconsin. They'll play Oklahoma State.
That's a tough one.
In Oklahoma City on the 21st, ESPN2.
Well, he and Dick Bennett, who coached here and did a great job. His son, Tony, doing a great job at Washington State.
Landry for 3. Both teams are shooting over 50%. Big spins into the lane, doesn't get the bounce. And we've got a foul on the floor against Wisconsin. His second, and how about this, Dick? Pittsburgh gets in the bonus before Wisconsin does. Wisconsin's committed 7 fouls, Pittsburgh 6 in November, December under Jamie Dixon during his 4-year tenure.
That's amazing.
Cameron Taylor, Butch from the weak side.
Butch really giving him an extra star here today.
Butch with 13, Tucker with 17 already. Ramon uses a screen, buries another 3.
He's NBA, nothing but nylon. They just got to get him some looks. He's feeling it.
Pittsburgh's never been number 1. Wisconsin's never been higher than number 6. 2-on-1. Taylor for Tucker!
Oh, a little high world. Are you serious? He could be National Player of the Year. America! Get familiar with the name. It is Tucker. T-U-C-K-E-R.
He was 48-6 against Wisconsin, but Scott, never had to go up against the likes of Orlando Tucker. This Wisconsin program has really been elevated, and Orlando Tucker did some serious elevating on that.
You know what's really great to see kids get better and better as they come to the collegiate level.
Pittsburgh's already allowed 40 points. That's how many they gave up against Buffalo last weekend. That matches the most they've allowed all season. And now Butch, he's on fire with 15.
So surprising. That's normally not a Pittsburgh defense.
And a hold is called on Marcus Landry. That'll quiet the crowd a little bit. Also missed the second half of last season due to academics. Steensma also suffers from depression, and that may have played a role in it. He is now doing much better.
Very deceiving when you say, though, they lost their last 4 games. They were tough spots. You're talking about Arizona. You're talking about at Iowa. I mean, they had some tough losses.
How about this guy? How about Brian Butch?
He said, America, get familiar with me. Brian Butch having one of those games you dream about.
Not very often does a team's front court players dominate Pittsburgh's front court players. Gray with good position inside. He's got 9. The assist to Levance Fields. Going to be Tucker, it looks like, with 5 seconds to go. Deep 3.
Oh, silly foul right there.
Oh, and it's going on Kendall of Pittsburgh. He and Tucker have combined for 38 of Wisconsin's 45.
You know, he struggled his freshman year, but a lot of times we don't understand, people in the media like ourselves, what he went through. Emotionally, his mom battling cancer was a tough time for him. Very difficult to concentrate on basketball.
Graves stepped out of bounds, and Wisconsin's going to get the ball back. Warm up before the game today.
Wow. You know, you talked about they lost to Arizona the year prior. They lost to the Elite Eight Wisconsin to North Carolina, who went on to win the whole national title.
Tucker gets it off. Oh, what an attempt by Orlando Tucker. About the only thing that didn't go right for him in the first half. Part of our Star Watch. And Tucker's been a superstar in the first half here in Madison. Thanks, Doris. Most points allowed by Pitt in the first half this year. Biggest halftime deficit for unbeaten Pitt this year. Orlando Tucker and company have skied to a 10-point lead. Let's go back to Scott Reese.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. So the first ever Wisconsin regular season matchup of top 10 teams is going quite nicely for the Badgers as we welcome you in to the Kay Jewelers halftime report.
Taylor. Nice drive, back rim as it comes out. Look at Brian Butch getting after it. He draws the foul.
Clearly, the only thing upsetting him, the rebounding margin, 19-11 in favor of Wisconsin.
Doris, last year in a Pittsburgh win over Wisconsin on New Year's Eve in Pittsburgh, to that level of physical play. They knew what they were getting into here today, and they have responded to the challenge. Chappell with Biggs on him, and a foul by Biggs, his second already this half, his second of the game as well.
Was number 6 in like 1962-63, and winning the national title that year was Ed Jucker, the swing sets in my offensive sets.
Bo Ryan also got a lot of his coaching philosophy from Tom Davis, Texas Tech at Arkansas. Cook, nice pass inside to Gray, good patience. Butch is called for the foul. Foul's on Chappell, his third, not Butch. So Chappell's out, Steamsma's in. You know, Aaron Gray thought about going to the NBA, waited until the last day to decide, pulled his name out. You know what amazing thing about this Pittsburgh program? With all the success they've had the last 8-9 years that have been Howland.
Nobody played in the NBA.
Now Gray comes down with a rebound. We've got one of the great Pittsburgh players from recent years in the house here today, and Brandon Knight. He's now their video coordinator as Cook knocks down the three. There's Brandon Knight. You want to talk about a competitor.
His brother playing out there in Charlotte.
Butch right down the lane, and a block is called. I have never seen him play anywhere close. The officials have to make a call on a shot right away. They can't just not make any call. How about Butch? Highly acclaimed McDonald's All-American from the state of Wisconsin, so the Badgers went after him hard. On the receiving end of a spectacular alley-oop in the first half of this game.
Look at Butch, he wants the ball in the deck. He wants the ball. He wants the ball. He says, get me the ball.
Sam Young at 6'6" is their second biggest player. Gray's jumper no. Graves skies for the rebound, and Gray is fouled by Butch.
The big man on campus.
Second foul on Butch as Gray knocks down the free throw.
Coach says, great job, but we got a lot of minutes yet to play. This game is far from over.
Well, they can sit him down for just a few seconds now, get to the under 16. He can get a good break and get right back in there as Gray knocks down the free throw. So,
trying to get in the gaps of that. We got some real good shooters from the wings.
It'll be Cameron Taylor. He got his own miss.
He said, right through. I'll just take it to the goal. And it'll be a really old-fashioned way. Having coached at Illinois, Illinois is the only team under Bo Ryan on this court in the Big Ten. Their only 2 losses, the Fighting Illini.
Largest lead of the game right now for the Badgers, but Fields cuts into that. Dixon Classic. It's going to become an annual event where the Army women's team plays in a game, and then the Pittsburgh men's team plays in a game. Cameron Taylor again.
Taylor's certainly an outstanding guard, and that he plays within the system. He understands the system of Bo Ryan.
Biggest lead of the game for Wisconsin. Levon Kendall back into the game and out for Pittsburgh. Just got knocked to the floor, and Steamsma just got called for the foul.
Right here, goes from East Carolina to Pittsburgh. You got a kid, Gerald Brown, who played at Providence, now played at Loyola, Maryland, doing a phenomenal job. You think about Justin Hawkins, started out at Utah, now at New Mexico State. You think about Aaron Johnson, formerly at Penn State, doing a great job rebounding. getting good screens, releasing, stepping out after the screen with their big people.
And right now trying to buy some minutes with Tucker and Butch on the bench. And the guy taking over is Cameron Taylor. Highly heralded or recruited, but by the time they're juniors and seniors, they are terrific basketball players.
Well, they play within the system, they play together. I'm going to call him King William.
Ramon for three. His shooting is helping to keep Pittsburgh close. You figure they got to make a run right now with Tucker and Butch on the bench. They've been sitting out for about 3 minutes.
They really get after it, love their Badgers, and they're going to be in the Capital One bowl game. Lemon's done a phenomenal job. 11-1. They're only lost to Michigan. Some people thought they should get part of the BCS Bowl.
Shot clock down to 6. Taylor's been the man here in the second half. Tried to split the double team, and he turned it over.
But one thing they make you do, they make you play defense for the entire possession.
Fields misses the three. Benjamin with a rebound. Gray with a rebound, and count it.
A lot of teams can play defense for the first 7 to 8 seconds. With them, they're going to make you have to play defense for almost the entire possession.
The Badgers are 80-5 in this building under Bo Ryan in the last 6 seasons.
I think what really blows my mind, 38-2 in the Big Ten. That's
a big shot for Taylor. What a second half for him.
It allows other people to get open looks.
Gray with a much smaller man on him in Landry. Gray backs him down, and they should count that.
Count that basket,
Yep.
count it. Ohio State has it in Greg Oden. Oh, is he special.
And a push is called on Keith Benjamin trying to defend Orlando Tucker.
I think about Billy Knight. He was a terrific player. Now in the front office with Atlanta. Also stay away from the tennis court against Billy Knight. You're 45 to 50%.
They get good shots, they don't turn it over, and they don't foul. Look at Ramon with a bounce in his step.
He's really done a great job off that bench.
16.
But you know what? Guys that are the 8th and 9th bench, they don't want to hear about being a starter. Because the bottom line is they're not playing 30 minutes.
Boy, not the way you want to pick up your fourth, that far away from the basket. It's also the 10th foul on Pittsburgh, so 2 shots the rest of the way for the Badgers.
In fact, Big Baby Davis told me last week, he said he couldn't believe it, he was on that team.
Are the front court right now for Pittsburgh with Gray and Kendall on the bench.
They keep waiting for Young to be a star. It's getting down really a crucial time now for Pittsburgh.
Ramon open. One of his rare misses here today. Taylor came down with a rebound and is fouled by Young. You can see all of his damage today has come here in the second half.
Well, I'm sure when they look at their non-conference schedule, and if they stay here and survive and win this game, what a week it's been. And in between, they say, come on man, the little guys, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, offensively and defensively. And they've had a star performance out of Tucker and out of Book.
What a tough shot by Mike Cook going down in the post.
He wants to build community centers. What is your reaction to a young man who wants to give back to the community he came from?
First field goal of the second half for Orlando Tucker. Another spectacular play as he completes the three-point play.
I think what's really terrific is that he wants to go back. They say he goes back to the community off in. They dominated. They actually signed 5 guys.
On the drive, Fields is foul. Well, Pittsburgh in the last 7-8 years has had a great run of success recruiting kids.
And you think about Bobby Gonzalez and the job he did now at Seton Hall. I'm sure Barry will do a super job. And Joe Lombardo is at Indiana.
You know, sometimes, and I may be in the minority on this, but you're too busy talking to listen. Has anybody ever said that to you before?
Wow. Wow.
I just said it.
Wow. You're right, though. My wife says I talk too much.
Tucker. Whoa. What an attempt there by Flowers. Kravenhog rips it away. Butch comes up with it and is fouled. Great tenacity by the Badgers.
It's going to be tough to overcome this club today.
Yep.
A lot of physical presence, but that's usually certainly a positive for Pittsburgh.
Certainly a career high as a collegian, but he did have 45 inside the Kohl Center. Once quarterfinals of the state tournament, broke a 35-year-old record.
That's not bad, huh? That's not bad.
Yep. And Taylor's had a big second half with 14, and all of them have come here in the second half.
Here's where Tucker really excels. If you double up, he's going to find the open man. So you're going to try to double on him?
Now he'll step out. Knock down the jumper.
Oh, what a performance. What a performance. If I had to cast my ballot today, for my National Player of the Year, it'd be Orlando Tucker. But obviously, we got so much basketball to be played. It's 28, makes that nice journey back to Madison where they were able to celebrate and smile. They went there, they said it wasn't a word said in the bus. And that was a good, you beat the likes of Marquette at home and beat, for example, Pittsburgh, number 2 in the country.
on Thursday, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Fields all the way, left hand.
Nice drive by Fields. Good change of direction. Man theory. Former New Jersey high school super coach.
Tucker lost the handle. Pittsburgh needs a spurt here to get back into this game. Fields a little hesitation, missed the layup.
That was a tough shot, though, Dan.
Yep. They keep it alive. Crowd wanted to walk. The floater goes for Fields on the baseline, and they're back within 12. A very young Connecticut team is unbeaten, but they haven't been tested the way that Pittsburgh has. We'll have UConn-Pittsburgh coming up in January.
Well, we'll find a lot about Connecticut when they go on the road against LSU.
Yep. Nice turnaround by Tucker. 29.
That's where they excel.
Tucker. And Gray with a rebound, and he is fouled by... Or is it going on Pittsburgh? It's going against Pittsburgh.
I appreciate you giving me the article. It's nice of you.
Hey.
Taking care of me. Wow. I have no rhythm. I'm leading the band. They asked me to come lead the band. I have no rhythm. I mean, I couldn't be in Dancing with the Stars if they tried.
Krabenhoft 1 of 2, the lead 15. And a foul is called against Wisconsin.
They just dominated every phase of the game. They really have. Coming out. I'm lucky they didn't have ESPN in those days.
Jump stop by Graves, and he knocks it down. Tucker, not this time, and the rebound for Gray.
Brad Nessler getting ready for that Arkansas game in Texas Tech. Talked to Brad during the week. Nice little transition basket.
They're starting to get on their feet right now here with the Kohl Center. Shot clock at 1. Taylor.
Talk about using the shot clock.
Yep.
The only thing they didn't do is score, and almost had an opportunity, Mr. Sherman, to almost score.
And Krabenhoft got in there for the offensive rebound and was fouled. Krabenhoft makes the first. Krabenhoft, a member of the Big Ten All-Freshman team a year ago, really stepped up in the second half of the year when Steemsma and Landry were out with academic issues.
2004.
Orlando Tucker chasing Michael Finley, perhaps, for the all-time scoring lead with Wisconsin. Will be on Krabenhoft to the Badgers.
Got Texas Tech and Arkansas. My guy Brad Nessler been making that call.
Derek Rivio's having a sensational season for the Zags right now.
He made 7 threes. I mean, the guy does a phenomenal job with the Zags. But Duke's defense is outstanding.
Matt Bolden moving into the starting lineup. Mark Few's got the best winning percentage of any active coach, and these two guys are 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, saw it yesterday. It is phenomenal up there, phenomenal.
Orlando Tucker's 30th point of the game.
See, I try to tell all you guys, but none of you listen, you young guys, you young thoroughbreds, Andy Katz, you guys don't listen. You gotta have balance in your life. Balance in your life. It can't be all one way. Yep. My life's not 24/7 hoops.
I know where you're having breakfast tomorrow. Another rebound for Tucker as we go into the final minute here in Madison, and Tucker's going back to the line. 32. But the story is Tucker. The story is Butch. The story is Wisconsin.
And it's
knocking off Pittsburgh.
And the story Bull Ryan. Now 81-5. And the first loss for Jamie Dixon in 4 years in November and December.
Our final here with the Kohl Center, Wisconsin 89, Pittsburgh 75. For Nick Vitale, Doris Burke, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dan Schulman. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's go to Little Rock. Brad Nessler, Jimmy Dykes, and Steve Lavin.